In 1987, some residents in the tiny community of St. Gabriel, Louisiana, called Jacobs Drive the street on which they lived Cancer Alley, because there were 15 cancer victims in a 2-block stretch. Half a mile away, there were 7 cancer victims on one block. The 80-mile stretch from the Mississippi River to Baton Rouge to New Orleans was formerly referred to as the Petrochemical Corridor, but after reports of numerous cases of cancer occurring in the small rural communities on both sides of the river, the entire area became known as Cancer Alley. In 2002, Louisiana had the second highest death rate from cancer in the United States. Although the national average is 206 deaths per 100,000 people, Louisiana's rate is 237.3 deaths per 100,000. In 2000, Toxic Release Inventory, or TRI, data showed that Louisiana ranked second throughout the nation for total on-site releases, third for total releases within the state, and fourth for total on- and off-site releases, which is, the oil. Louisiana has a population of 4 million people, but it produces 9 billion pounds of waste in 2000 alone. 7 of the 10 plants in the state have the largest combined on- and off-site releases are located in Cancer Alley, and 4 of the 10 plants with the largest on-site releases in the state are located there too. Industrial accidents and accidental releases are common occurrences in Cancer Alley. For instance, in 1994, Condia Vista, located in Lake Charles, reported 39 chemical accidents that released 1,000 to 2,900 pounds of chemicals. 129,500 pounds of chemicals. The following year, Condia Vista reported 90 accidental chemical releases. In 1997, the company was charged with contaminated local groundwater supplies by discharging between 19 to 47 million pounds of ethylene dichloride, which is EDC, a suspected human carcinogen, into a local stream. In 1999, hundreds of unskilled laborers filed suit against Condia Vista, claiming they were exposed to EDC while cleaning up a spill from a leaking underground pipeline. The population of Cancer Alley is primarily black and low income. Despite the large number of industrial facilities, more than 136, unemployment is high in many communities and more residents do not have a college education. Nevertheless, the inhabitants of Cancer Alley have been organizing to limit the siting of noxious facilities in their neighborhoods. The most famous case of community resistance occurred in Convent, where in 1996, Shintech announced plans to build a 700 million chlor-alkali vinyl complex that would be permitted to emit 611,700 pounds of contaminants into the air. The battle between Shintech and Convent gathered international attention. Finally, in 1998, Shintech decided to abandon its plans to build a plant in Convent. So, yeah. And outside of that, there's also been a huge pushback from my nation, United Homa Nation, against the Bayou Bridge pipeline. So I wanted to talk about that too. So basically, in the bayous of Louisiana, the water and way of life is under threat, and they need support. ETP, the very same company behind the notorious Dakota Access Pipeline, is trying to build a 162 crude oil pipeline across Louisiana called the Bayou Bridge Pipeline. BBP will pollute the water, costing an astounding 700 bodies of water, including Bayou Lafourche, a critical reserve that supplies the United Homa Nation and 300,000 Louisiana residents with clean, safe drinking water. BBP violates indigenous sovereignty along its path of destruction. BBP would impact sacred mounds and threaten drinking water of the United Homa Nation, a tribe that has been seeking federal recognition for decades. Neither United Homa Nation nor any tribe on the Gulf South has been consulted nor given consent for the construction of this pipeline. It's completely illegal. BBP will destroy the coast even more. Wetlands are sponges for floodwaters. The BBP will destroy 150 acres of wetlands in its path and will temporarily impact 450 more acres. And on top of that, they were just recently doing construction. They needed an environmental impact statement, and they continued to cut down centuries-old trees in the Atchafalaya River Basin. So, wetlands are vital to the resilient southern Louisiana, and also because of climate change and development, Louisiana is losing an average of 1 acre of coastal wetlands per hour. The state of Louisiana is frantically trying to figure out how to save the coast, but building the BVP will make the situation obviously even worse. BVP will destroy the economy. Existing oil pipelines have already created enormous problems for the crawfishing industry. BVP will only make these problems worse, creating dams in the Atchafalaya Basin, dozens of miles long, that is irreparably damaged from the irreparably damage the ecosystem and make fishing for crawfish impossible. And that's like the backbone of Louisiana. The crawfishing industry supports thousands of good jobs in Louisiana. BVP will only create 12 permanent jobs. BVP will increase flooding. The loss of wetlands also means increased flooding, obviously. Hurricane Katrina, anybody? Our homes are damaged, our crops are destroyed, our infrastructure is eroded, our families get sick, and our economy is harmed. BVP is a climate disaster, and it will create the carbon equivalent of 30 new coal plants. The BVP is not compatible with our global mandate to limit climate change to 1.5 Celsius. Our growing network of impacted landowners, tribal members, environmental justice communities, and fisher folk have submitted comments, spoken out at hearings, and demanded proper environmental reviews, and that our concerns will be taken seriously. None of this has happened. ETP has swindled everyone, bought out the politicians, and refused to address any of the community's needs. Enough is enough. And if you feel this, you should definitely check out Luella V Camp. Go to .org, and you can sign up, get involved with the camp. It's really helpful. So, I wanted to end this out too with a poem, if y'all don't mind. So, it says, "This land is not conquered or broken. She is living, persisting, and thriving. Curse to the naysayers, for I talk to her every day. She dreams wildly, and so vividly, that she sees her destruction and rebirth, emulating the resilience of the phoenix continuously stream in the consciousness she holds. Why do we shop her dreams? Dreams that are much more valid than minds of y'all's. The ancestors sing through her, in the moss, in the cypress, and the pelicans, and the possums. Her song is quiet but strong. If you listen loudly, she says, Yakoke and s'il vous plaît to me and others like me. But a vengeance she has. A vengeance so strong it makes Katrina look weak. A vengeance so strong it makes Andrew Jackson's knees tremble. A vengeance so strong it makes the BP oil spill look far from a disaster. A vengeance so strong it makes Marie Laveau both proud and startled. And that vengeance lives through me and others like me. For the obligation we have is bestowed on us a tall order of demanding respect. When it is quiet, Toby Ophi need be afraid. Y'all shall know that vengeance is no longer resting. It is living, persisting, and thriving, and it will not rest until our mother is doing the same. Vivancy, she says, and do not betray me. She believes in us. It is time we believe in us. It is time we believe in her. Thank you.